amazing program. We were able to feed them, find them employment, and find them an apartment. And it was there that I made up my mind that my next step in life was going to be to come to work for a university. And I chose this one because this one is my alma mater. The reason I chose to do that is because the predominant factor of homelessness is the lack of education. The predominant factor of homelessness is the lack of education. And I had kids just like you guys over there, staying there with their parents or their mom, and they were struggling. They were struggling because it's an impactful thing to having to end up in a shelter. You're not secure. And so I thought, you know, coming here, I can have a greater access in my goal to end homelessness in the city of Chicago. Well, the way I do that is by making sure that our next generation, you guys, receive the proper education. You guys take school seriously. And you understand that there's a correlation between education and salary, what you're going to be making. One of you, anybody, tell me, why is it important to go to college? By raise a hand.
To get a job.
To get a job. Go ahead.
Higher raise in money.
I'm sorry?
Higher raise in money.
Money.
You can get a better job.
Job. So, yeah.
To be something in your life.
To be something in your life. All of those are great, great answers. And they are right on point, right? But it's not only about, when you're talking about college, it's not only about obtaining the education that you need so you can get a good job, but it's working in the field that you're interested in working in. Because you don't want to work somewhere where you're not happy, right? You want to do something that you like to do. What are some of those things that you like to do? What do you like to do? You like to play outside. You like sports. You? Sports. How about you? Art. All of those things are connected with the college education. You can get a scholarship by being a good athlete or by being a good artist. And the scholarships are going to help you with some of the financial burdens that come with getting an education. But getting an education is an investment, right? And so we take in this financial burden because we know that eventually it's going to pay off for us, right? So one of the reasons to go to college is for personal growth and to expand your horizons. If you go to college, you'll gain information and skills that you'll use for the rest of your life. And this is very important because as we are growing, as we are learning, we're adding information in here. Information that allows us to make the right decisions, right? For example, if I go to the store and I see this pack of Oreo cookies and I want them. I want this pack of cookies. I love cookies, right? But what I don't know is that if I turn a pack of cookies upside down, there's a list of ingredients. And if I don't pay attention to those ingredients, I may be eating something that may be harmful to me. You see how I gain more information by really paying attention, looking at what the ingredients are, and I was able to make the right decision and say, you know what? I'm not going to eat these cookies because they're not going to be good for me. That's how you take information in, your process to make the right decisions, right? Some of the benefits, extracurricular activities, you're going to be able to be involved in groups, clubs, sororities, fraternities, which are very good because these groups are often doing good things in the community. They're volunteering to help feed the homeless, or they're creating events to do fundraisers to help kids get coats in the winter that may not have them, things like that, right? Plus, it's prestigious to be in a club and sorority or fraternity because a fraternity may be known throughout the nation, and anywhere you go looking for a job, you may come across an employer who is an Alpha, Beta, Omega, and you are as well, and they're like, oh, okay, I want to hire you because you were on the same fraternity or sorority, and I believe that you are well equipped to do any job. You see how the correlation is there and how it makes sense? You know that the world is changing very rapidly in front of us. More and more jobs require education beyond high school. And we're going to talk about the difference in a minute from what a GED all the way to what a master's degree is going to bring in dollars, and figure out how that relates to your life, right? A person who goes to college usually earns more than a person who doesn't. We know that. On average, over a lifetime, someone who spends 2 years in college earns about $250,000 more than someone who doesn't. And that's just 2 years of college. So I want to get to this exercise right here. I need 2 volunteers. 1, 2, you. Come on. Come on. Let's talk a little bit about the future. All right? Come on down. So, my question to you two. Do you want to own a home or do you want to rent? 2 bedrooms, 3 bedrooms? 3 bedrooms? Ooh. You? Yeah? 2, 3, 4?
4.
Where do you want to live at? Where would you prefer to live at? Chicago, LA, California. Chicago? You? Hawaii? High expectations, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to talk about a house, right? And a house usually is going to cost you anywhere from $250,000 to $300,000. And the way that works is they split that in 30 years. And I'm not going to be accurate with the number, but I'm going to roughly say that your mortgage payments are going to be around $2,500 a month. When you own a home, you have some other responsibilities behind it. What else do you have to pay? If you have one, what's most essential? You need food. You need furniture. You need insurance in case of a natural disaster, right? I'm sorry? In case of a robbery. You need to pay utilities. You need to pay, you want Comcast so you can watch TV, right? You watch your favorite videos. So I'm going to say that on a monthly basis, your utilities, with everything that we mentioned, with insurance and everything like that, it's about $1,000. I'm going to say 1,000. So, what kind of car do you want to drive? I'm sorry? What was that? A Calibri 300. And you? Oh. Really? Oh my God, we're talking about a Ferrari and a
He's living in Hawaii, so.
Yeah, that is true. So we're talking about you might have to finance that, and the way that works is 72 months, so you make monthly payments on that, and for a car like that, I'm sorry? I didn't. We're gonna get to that one, right? So, but for just the payment, the monthly payment on the car, I'm gonna put 800, and I'm being very conservative. You know it's gonna be a little bit more, right? I'll put 800. Now with a car comes responsibilities, right? So you know your insurance just skyrocketed up because your car costs so much money. It's very expensive, right? So oil change, gasoline, insurance. You might have to change the wiper here and there. So we're talking about on a monthly basis, and I don't know what's the fuel efficiency of those cars either. They may be fuel efficient. So I'm gonna say it's gonna be about $600. Okay, and we haven't gone to the movies yet. Okay, we haven't bought ourselves a lot of clothes, right? We haven't even talked about those things. We're just talking about some basic things right here, right? So how much is this on a monthly basis? 0, 0, 8, 13, 19. I'm sorry?
4,900.
4,900. Can you guys see that? Okay.
A month.
Go ahead and have a seat. That is a month. Really? Okay, so that week, 4,900 a month, right? So I did some research. And in the research that I did, it shows that if you are living, if you're renting, you're gonna be paying around $717 for a one bedroom. If you are in a couple, it's gonna be about $815. Renter's insurance about $11, heating, cooking, gas 15, and this is being conservative, right? Electricity, vehicle insurance, gasoline. By yourself, you're going to be spending $1,644 a month, roughly, right? If it's two of you, it's about $2,669. If you start adding children to the equation, for every child that you add, it's an additional $14,000 a year that you gotta add to these expenditures, right? So if you multiply that by 12, on average, living with just the basics, you're gonna be spending a year $32,000 in just the basics. Again, we haven't gone to the movies yet. I have not taken you to Great America, right? Roughly, you know, so let's talk about salaries here. A GED high school diploma is going to earn you about $8 to $10 an hour. Associate's degree, 10 to 12. Bachelor's, 12 to 17, and a master's, 17 to 21. Per year, $19,000 for a GED. For a master's, $41,000, right? Average per month with a GED, 1,583, 3,416 with a master's degree. Now, if we take this information into account and we see what their expenditures are, this is 4,900. Now, multiply that by 12. Who had the calculator? Multiply by 12. Nobody has a calculator? How much is it? 49,000?
No, times 12.
Yeah, 49 times 12.
58,800.
58,000. 58,000. That means that entry level master's degree, that means that you had no experience whatsoever, and you go into a job with a master's degree, entry level, you only going to earn 41,000 roughly, which is not nearly enough to cover the 58,000 that you plan to expend, right? That you plan to expend up there, right? You have high expectations, right? Now, if you add experience to this, which means that from now, you start working at volunteering. You put that on a resume. When you get to college, you work your part-time job. You do some volunteer work. You do some internship. Then you get a full-time job. That's adding experience. And every time you add experience, this number goes up. So from the 58,000 here, you need to add a lot of experience and time out there in order for you to be able to cover this right here, this expenditure. Does that make sense, guys? Do you see the importance of a college education in relation to how you expect to live as an adult? What you expect to have as an adult? That's how important it is. Now, other things. Expand your knowledge base. A college education helps you acquire a range of knowledge in many subjects as well as advanced knowledge in the specific subjects you're most interested in. She said she likes art. If you follow that path, you're going to become an expert artist with the college education, which means that you're more than likely to be able to either sell your paintings at high values, which means that you're going to be able to live well, right? Same with sports. You get into Chicago Bears or Chicago Hawks, you're going to earn a lot of money, right? So that's because you focus on what you like to do. You will also increase your ability to think abstractly and critically, to express thoughts clearly in speech and in writing, and to make wise decisions. Remember the cookie story? right? From the cookie story, so this is the same thing. As you're moving along learning, you're able to understand more things, and as you understand them, and you have all the information available, you're able to make these wise decisions that you need to make. These skills are useful both on and off the job. Increase your potential. We know that a college education can help increase your understanding of the community and the world as you explore interests, discover new areas of knowledge, and consider lifelong goals. Who here watched President Obama's addressing the nation last night? Good for you. How many of you understand the implications of what he said? Do you understand? Sort of? Do you know what that means for this nation? For many people? Go ahead.
They get a chance to be here.
I'm sorry?
They get a chance to be here.
They get an opportunity to become legal, which means that these people are going to be paying taxes, which means that that's going to help our economy, right? And everybody has different points of views on this. I'm just looking at it logistically, right? If they're going to be here, if we're going to be here, then we might as well be part of the system so that we can help society as a whole, right? We understand these things as we're moving along, learning about society, learning about the issues that we have out there, and being part of the solution, being involved, civically engaged is very important, not only for students, but also for parents, right? So, parents should also think beyond the curriculum to the level of assisting their child, which may need to get into college. For example, first-generation college students may need more help from counselors and teachers in preparing applications, writing essays, and researching schools if other family members are not able to help them. It's very important that we have the reinforcement at home. Think about it, guys. You have an opportunity to ensure that your parents continue to stay on you about going to college. You will be influencing your parents to help you stay on track so that you can end up in college. You have that power. All you have to say is, I want to go to college. And it'll flow from there. Okay? Anybody knows what the definition of a first-generation college student is? Go ahead.
You're the first of your family to go to college.
For you, you're the first person in your family to go to college. I'm a first-generation college student. I was the first one. And guess what? As soon as I enrolled in college, my mom followed, and she enrolled as well. My mom went to college.
My mom, I was first generation. My mom went to school after I did.
Check that out. See how we influence other people? You too.
I was first generation, and now my nephew and niece is.
See how we influence people. We influence the people around us because as we do well, as we follow this great path in life, people are going to see that we're doing great, and they're going to want that. So you don't even have to say anything. They're going to see it, and they're going to want to be part of it, and they're going to follow you. You have just became a leader. You have just became a leader. Others will follow your steps. You need to develop a college plan. You need to start thinking now. A plan for your education may seem unnecessary. You will just go to school and get an education, right? That's not true. There's so many components involved here. One of them we talked about was how to pay for college, financial aid. You have to start thinking ahead with your parents. How is this going to happen? And you got to help your parents by becoming experts at specific things that you are good at so that you can get scholarships and help you with that. Everywhere you go, you're going to have to pay for your education. You might as well start now thinking about it. It could work, but why would you want to leave it to chance? You have the power to make that decision now. Some of the items to include in your educational plan are a mission statement. Can anybody define what a mission statement is? Anybody? No? No problem. I didn't know until yesterday. A mission statement is when you put together a sentence or two of what you want to do, the impact that you want to make. I created this group. It's called the Jerusalem University Latino Family Resources Committee, and we needed a mission statement. So I started thinking about what we were doing. We involved civically, socially, and academically, and we're trying to help the community. So our mission statement is, we believe that social response, civic engagement, and education are the positive impacts in society. Simple as that. So, what would be your mission statement? What do you like to do? What do you want to do in life? I mean, be an athlete. Yeah? Any sport specific? Football. I believe that I can be the best football player in the whole world. Think big. Think big. Because anything is possible. Right? We have the first black president. That says a lot. Right? I can't wait till we have a woman president. I'm even going to love it more. I know we're going to have more peace in the world. Okay? A personal inventory. What do you do best? Determine your talents, skills, and see how that matches up with your mission. It has to be together. This is also great to list, at least to include in scholarship applications. When you apply for scholarships and you put a mission statement with your bio, with your biography, that says a lot about you. That says that you are a committed, proactive leader in the community who's going to make changes. The result of any research you've done into the possible career fields that match your interests. What is the long-term outlook for the possible jobs in your career field? What are the requirements for the various careers? You have to learn that stuff, right? For example, how many here want to be an engineer? You want to be an engineer? What kind of engineer you want to be?
The one that works with the people that build programs.
Understand completely. You see what I just did right now? I just let you know that it's not only important to know what career you're going for, but most of these careers are broken up into pieces. To be an engineer, you could be a chemical engineer, you could be an electronic engineer. You know, there's different types of engineers, there's different types of lawyers. So you have to know which one is the one that best suits you and understand that field, understand that career, right? Create a calendar of important dates. If you are in high school, include the important dates for your junior and senior year. What is one important date in high school that you need to know about? The ACT? Yeah. Go ahead. The ACT is one important date. But not only that, there's college careers fairs that you need to be aware of and you need to attend. And you need to attend these things because it's going to give you the knowledge that you need to know to navigate the system as you become an adult. Right? You know what I did the other day? I got a 12-year-old and a 10-year-old. And I created a job application and I actually summoned them to come for an interview. The name of the company? Bobby's Industries. And they had to stand before me and do an interview, and you know, it was funny. We laughed because I mean they're just being exposed to something like this. And it's funny because we're all three of us are Vargas last name, so we're like saying Vargas back and forward, right? But they got an idea. They filled out an application, they came for the job interview, and they both got hired to clean their room. They should be doing that anyways, right? Things like that are very important. We need to be proactive in learning these things. A list of potential schools, colleges, and universities that you could attend. A financial plan to pay for your education. We talked about that several times. If you start now, talking to your parents now about this, trying to understand it, then you will be helping your parents prepare for it, right? 10 reasons to go to college. A college education secures your future. If you have a college education, you will make more money, which in turn will enable you to have a better lifestyle. A college education shapes your communication skills. Very important how we talk to people. It expands your knowledge base, makes you methodical and organized, and exposes you to a whole new world of learning. People with a college education have a better value system and are healthier. Believe that. A college education makes you healthier. Why? Somebody tell me, why does a college education make you healthier? Logic. Because if you got a college education, that means that you're going to be working, that means you're going to be bringing money to the house, that means you can buy those nutritious foods, that means you will not have stress because you're paying your bills. Does that make sense? It even affects your health. College can help you qualify in fields you're interested in. So if you are an innovator, inventor, or healer, or artist, you can train in the field. Education opens the doors to many things like multiple jobs, career choices. You cannot learn all you need in college, but you can learn enough to form a framework into which you can place things, you learn later. College is like athletic cross-training for the mind. You will never have to do most of the actual activities in real life, but the more different ways your mind has been stretched and exercised, the more you're able to meet intellectual challenges in the future. Number 9, and I sound like David Letterman. In any workplace, people succeed who communicate well. That's very important. And number 10, most people grow up in a fairly limited sphere of experiences with people who are relatively similar to themselves. For many people, college is the first opportunity to work closely with people who are different in terms of religion, ethnicity, politics, sexual orientation, everything. And that's very important because we tend to isolate ourselves, segregate ourselves within our community and do not come out to learn about other cultures, other lifestyles, which means that we're limited in the information that we have, which at times can lead to us not being culturally sensitive. And it's very important that we are and that we understand. This is a society of many races, creeds, and colors, and we need to be able to coexist with everybody in the appropriate way. Does that make sense, guys? Yes? I'm sorry?
Ethnicity he's asking about.
You don't know what ethnicity means? So ethnicity is what you will say African American or white or Indian. So that's ethnicity, right? So in the federal government, they recognize specific islanders, Hawaiians, American Indians, so things like that. Scholarships. Somebody tell me what a scholarship is. Well, you gotta give me more than that. I don't understand that. Go ahead.
It's where the school pays for you to go in because you have something that could be to the youth.
So the school has scholarships. There are scholarship opportunities out there everywhere that you can take advantage of. You need to do your research and find the scholarships that are connected to what you're doing and who you are. There are scholarships out there because we're Latinos or because we're white, because we're women or because we're men, because we like sports or we like art, and we need to research that. And we need to, most times are going to require for us to do an essay. Get good at writing essays because you're going to need it to help you in the future. That goes along with proper education. I know essays are like, right? But it's going to be very helpful for us to learn these things. So take it seriously, right? So scholarship is an award of sort, right? Coming from somewhere. The most common scholarships out there are merit-based, which is, these awards are based on a student's academic, artistic, athletic, or other abilities. For example, if you come to Roosevelt University and you score high on your ACTs, and you have a GPA of 3.524, you could get up to $16,000 from us every year. That's why you have to start now before you go into high school and working in your academics. Because a lot of colleges and universities, especially the high-level ones, are going to require for you to have good scores. And if you don't take high school seriously, if you take the first 2 years loosely and don't act accordingly and learn what you need to learn, by the time you get to your junior year, it's over. You're not going to be able to change much. You need to start on the freshman level working towards that. That's how important it is, right? And imagine you start strong, and then by the time you get to your junior and your senior, your schedules are going to be so scattered and so loose that then you can relax a little because you started strong. So you have to start strong, okay? Need-based. The government gives financial aid to people of low income, middle income. You need to apply for that. Your parents need to be involved in that. So the need-based is the United States FAFSA, financial free application for federal student aid. And through it, the state also gives out some money for that. Student-specific. These are scholarships in which applicants must initially qualify based on gender, race, religion, family, or medical history. There's even scholarships for people with disabilities out there. That's how many there are. Career-specific. These are scholarships or university awards to students who plan to pursue a specific field of study. Engineering. All of those fields in engineering have scholarship opportunities available. And there are schools that focus on engineering too, so you need to do that research. And then college-specific. College-specific scholarships are offered by individual colleges and universities to highly qualified applicants. These scholarships given on the basis of academic and personal achievement. Personal achievement. How many of you have volunteered? How many of you have fed the homeless? How many of you have taken care of dogs at the pound? Things like that. You know, some of these things may seem like, how do I get there? How do I do this? Do the research. Ask around. Tell your parents, I want to go do something for somebody. I want to go help somebody out. Just, why not? We can. It doesn't cost anything, and people need the help. Why not? My kids have gone to feed the homeless population with me. I have had them involved in ceasefire marches in Cicero because I want my kids to understand their involvement is important in society, in the community. Okay? So I'm not going to get too much into the FAFSA application that comes later. There are some other scholarship opportunities like Latino College Dollars, Dream Fund. Any questions so far? Now, why don't you tell me why is a college education so important? Remember that you're going to be helping your parents when you become an adult and as they age. And if you don't prepare for that, then there's going to be some struggles, all right? So we have to think about our parents as well, right? Everybody understands? All right. So thank you for allowing me to present in front of you. And we're going to start getting ready for tours. Okay? So the way we're going to do this is, right? So we're going to break this into 3 groups, right? So what we're going to do is group